Adam, thanks for joining me today on this discussion about the UX researcher interview process here at GitLab. Just for the purposes of the recording, it'd be great if you could introduce yourself.
Yeah, Rupert, I'm the director of UX research at GitLab, and very excited to be talking about this.
Yeah, me too. And I'm Rupert. I'm on the recruiting team here, and one of the teams that I support is the UX research team. So as I mentioned, we'll be discussing UX researcher interview process, and more specifically, the case study presentation. Adam, do you mind giving us an overview of that presentation and what we're looking for?
Of course, yeah. So this is something that we definitely put a lot of value into. The recording should be about 20 minutes in length. So we really want to hit that mark. And the reason why we don't want a very long presentation. We want to be able to see if candidates are able to just succinctly talk about what we're asking in that short amount of time. So a little bit about what should that 20 minutes talk about. I think first, a little bit about who they are and their background. So it's nice to get a little personal. Maybe everybody has a story, so even a slide that talks about that a little bit is nice to know. And then dive into the project piece. So we do restrict it to about 20 minutes, so it could be 1 or 2 projects. For each project, we definitely want to know what the research questions or the problems are that the project aimed to address. For each project, I'd like to know the team makeup. So how many product managers or program managers, how many engineers, how many designers, things like that. And definitely want to know what their role was too. So what I mean by that is what they did and what they did not do. So it's crystal clear, and it's totally okay if a candidate doesn't do everything. That's actually rare in real life, so that's okay. And I think wanting to know what their approach was when taking on that project and answering those research questions. And I think most importantly, why that approach? Did they consider other methods? And what were some of the challenges that they faced in that project too, and how they overcame them? I think lastly, well, not quite lastly, but some high-level findings. Respecting any confidentiality rules in place. We're not really looking for super detailed findings. High level's fine. But lastly, the impact that the research had. So impact has many different flavors. It could be a change in the product. It could be a change in the team culture even too. So I'll stop there, Rupert. That's it at a very high level.
Yeah, great. That's really, really useful. I know that, one thing I'd like to understand is whether you have any guidance for candidates on the type of research study that they should present.
Yeah, so I think one that might have been a personal challenge even for whatever reason. If a research study hits multiple methods that they went after in the same study, that might be interesting to look at too. So yeah, I mean, I don't think there's any right or wrong, but as long as there's all those things hit and impact, and it's a study that the candidate feels good about too, that they're able to speak to in detail, because we probably will be asking some follow-up questions about that.
Perfect. And I'd like to add that just a little bit of context on why we asked for this video. So here at GitLab, we try and bias towards asynchronous communication wherever we can. So if we're presenting an idea, what we try to do is avoid setting up a meeting straight away. And some of the guidance that we have and offer to our team is that you should record a presentation ahead of time. That enables your audience to digest that presentation and ask more informed questions. And obviously, this pre-recorded case study format gives you this opportunity to experience the style of work that you'd find here at GitLab. And then when it comes to recording the video, generally here at GitLab, we use Zoom a lot. We're using Zoom right now. And you can use a free personal account to record it. And then when it comes to sharing the recording, you can do that via Google Drive. You can do it via a private YouTube link, or even use a separate platform like Loom. And if you've got any questions throughout this process, the recruiting team is here for you. You can ask them anything, whether it's questions about the topics you're presenting, the format, whether you've touched on what we're looking for, and even if you need a dry run ahead of time, we'll be here for that. I think that's everything, Adam. Is there anything else that you'd like to add?
I think that's it.
Perfect.